Lord, my shepherd, I'll not want. Take me down to life. In Master's street, that leadeth me the quiet waters by. My soul has restored and me to walk on within the calm of righteousness, even for his name. Yeah, no, I know in days darkness, it will hide there, no evil. Thy rod and staff, they are with me, they surely comfort me. My Savior, has heard
Wow. Actually, everything is on a UPS system. Experience a little bit of electrical difficulties or power outage. We're good now.
goodness and mercy all my life, I'm surely follow me. I'm in Jehovah's cry, Lord, living things.
Or pursue it. Dismiss it.
Goodness and mercy all my life, I surely follow me. I'm in Jehovah's heart, I am. My dwelling place must be a soul of restore again. Me to walk those days with thee in the palm of my steps, even for his name's sake. Though I want to did not be, will I bear no evil. Thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they surely comfort me. My Savior, oh, I'm forget in the presence of my foes. My head, oh, how can know before my God is over.
Welcome YouTube, it's Randy here alongside Helix and we're coming to you live with Ganja Talk. Ganja Talk for me will be the start of a new series where we're talking everything cannabis related from growing to how it affects your body to different laws. So this is the second day or the second installment of Ganja Talk. Really like this. Right now we're basically cutting off some herb, playing some music, and getting ready to basically start today's discussion. Today's discussion is cannabis and your health. We'll be talking about the benefits of cannabis, the medicinal benefits of cannabis, thank you, and the different ways it affects your body. So I said, just sitting back, relaxing to some music before we start the program. So anytime you feel to basically ask the question, go right ahead, highlight me, and I'll definitely see it in the chat. Don't forget to thumbs up, share the stream, and also for those interested in the chalices, the link is in the description below. So best up to everyone and much love. How is everyone doing today? For now in the place, I'm seeing Logan, man. Bless up, Logan, man. Doing great. Got off work early. Bless up. Glad you're here so you can relax and jam out with us. Bless up, Tony Bell in the place. First time seeing you. Bless up to the new person and much love. You've been created as a basically you've been made a mod. So each their own a card. You are responsible for your actions and behavior. So much love and bless up to everyone. Funny enough, you know, some of those can like use the top of a counter and cut up weed with on scissors like there's no tomorrow. And it's fine.
I can do it.
We can do it. Best up to yourself, Tony. Best up to yourself. Okay. Is that ready? Yeah, there. Chalice over there, so. Alright. It's still good. What we call it, brother? Ganja. So I am set for with my fifth. Helix over here just setting up himself as well. So yeah, we're just about to start, people. I'm blessed up. I said this is Ganja Talk, where we'll be talking about everything cannabis. Today's discussion is basically cannabis and your health. We all know that marijuana is sought out medicinally for its cancer prevent ah mouth. Sorry about that. I said cannabis is sought after today for its medicinal properties, mainly its cancer preventing ailments, tumor reduction. Also, we're looking into treatments for PTSD, depression, anxiety. Also, epilepsies. Cannabis is today the go-to medicine for the United States and hopefully for the rest of the world as we see that it is now legalizing slowly but surely. They can't hold the plant down for too long. So with that, we have to focus now on why should we smoke cannabis? Why should we use cannabis? What are the benefits? What are the health risks? And what does cannabis do to your health? So cannabis and your health is basically a little brief introduction onto what's going on when you smoke a spliff, when you ingest some, and what's going on with your body. Also, the different treatments that basically are done through cannabis. So with that, I got the PowerPoint presentation, and we're all set and ready. And already, yeah, shake it.
Leave the shakiness alone. Go on, no man.
You go on, you go on do your thing. I'll be going ahead and lighting up my joint. So cheers to everyone. Welcome back to Jamaica for those who were here this morning with me. Much love to those that are tuning in. And I said, any questions, anything you need to add, go right ahead and drop it in the chat. I'll definitely see it. Chuck Norris. And breast up to Tony Bell in Brooklyn, New York, chilling and checking out the live stream. Best up, Brooklyn. This is Jamaica. Jamaica reaching out to your brother.
Welcome to Jam Rock. Welcome to Jam Rock.
Okay, so I'm gonna read a little bit from the PowerPoint. Research done on cannabis showed medical evidence that some patients with terminal or debilitating the debilitating that word debilitating debilitating. I need to say it slowly. Medical conditions may, under their healthcare professionals' care, benefit from medical use of cannabis. There are many components of cannabis which help to treat illnesses such as epilepsy, cancer, HIV, asthma, and the list goes on. Basics of cannabis. There are 400 components of cannabis and basically 400 compounds of cannabis, and there are 60 cannabinoids. So basically, 400 compounds are even more as we're still researching located in this plant. And with that, 60 major cannabinoids. But main psychoactive compound is the THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. Nonol. But yes, the major psychoactive part of the cannabis is the THC. Along with that, cannabis has many other components such as CBD, THCA, all of that stuff. We get into that later on. With that, delta 9 THC basically the principal psychoactive component, delta 9 THC, that causes the high, the hallucinations, and the occasional running down a leprechaun if you're that high enough. And basically, with that, THC is widely distributed across the brain along with the cannabinoids, so it's readily taken in to help regulate brain functions, or, I said, cause some leprechaun seeing. Okay, so next is the effects of cannabis. Effects of cannabis. Urethra. Urethra is basically that relaxing feeling that you get, a change in perspective due to the relaxing components that does have. Okay, so along with that, it has to do with a sense of well-being, enhance of senses, meaning touch, taste, sight, all of that. You're high and everything seems more appealing for you. Also, effects such as subtle change in thoughts and expressions, talkativeness, giggling, increased appetite. Some may be paranoid, as I said. Weed may affect individuals differently based on your metabolism, your endocannabinoid system, and overall your tolerance. So those are just some of the effects of cannabis. I did this. Yeah. Hey, I like learning. So I'm gonna show you guys our screen share, basically the endocannabinoid system, CBD, and the endocannabinoid system. So let me go back to chat and see if anyone had any questions for me. Any questions yet? Nada, no questions as yet. It would have right now. Yeah, there's a bit of a lag here with the video, but no worries. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead, screen share the endocannabinoid system. Leave it to Jah. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay. Okay, so start from current slide. Great. And also star delta is on. Best up to Star Delta. So the endocannabinoid system, CBD and the endocannabinoid system. The endocannabinoid system regulates a variety of biological processes like relaxation, eating, sleeping, certain inflammation responses, cognitive function, and overall homeostasis. CBD suppresses the breakdown of anandamide, a naturally occurring cannabinoid in the body that is responsible for activating the CB1 and CB2 receptors, which trigger the body's protective endocannabinoid response. So CBD helps to suppress a receptor within the body that is basically, yeah, used to reduce how high you get, because in actuality your body does produce small amounts of cannabinoids. With that, when you first ingest cannabis, the CBD goes into your body to help break down those responses so you can actually feel the full effects of the cannabis. So, where else? Endocannabinoids and their receptors are found throughout the body. There are two main cannabinoid receptors, CB1 and CB2, on cells throughout the body. Unlike THC, CBD does not directly bind the CB1 and the CB2 receptors. So, major receptors CB1 and CB2. As you can see here, the diagram of the individual, all the spots around them, these are the areas, these are all cannabis receptors. So it's all over your body, it's everywhere, it's in place to absorb the cannabis and use it for bodily functions. So, when CBD oil is ingested, receptors are activated. CB1 receptors are mostly populated in the brain and central nervous system, while CB2 receptors are mostly centralized in peripheral organs, especially cells associated with the immune system. So colon, all of those stuff. The CBD receptors or CB2 receptors are there within them. Your brain has a lot of the CB1 receptors. So good little fact to know, and best of for that. And I don't advise eating raw cannabis. The body cannot process too much green, like cellulose and all of that stuff. I'm not okay with eating just straight cannabis. So if you decarb it and put it in some cooking oil, coconut oil, I should say, yeah, you can name that. And we got Dr. Wiggler in the place, Smash and Dabs, and the one, the only LMG, Lemon GF4. Go on, my brother. By the way, the PowerPoint presentation that you guys see, have the thing on, yeah, made that Portuguese thing. I think it's usable for this kind of talk. So I'm going to tell you the medical benefits of marijuana. With the body having so many receptors, what are the receptors for? Why do we need cannabis? Why does our body want cannabis, our cannabinoids? Marijuana slowly and stops cancer cells from spreading. So it reduces the spread, stops it, and also can kill cancer cells. So that's one of the God bless and major reasons for the use of cannabis. Also, it prevents Alzheimer's. So got them ants that are forgetting stuff while thinking that they're British. Yeah, Alzheimer's. So with that, cannabis can be the next go-to thing for Alzheimer's. Treats glaucoma. You want to protect your eyes. Eating a carrot a day is not the only thing that can help your eyes. Smoking a spliff a day can help you a lot. Also, it relieves arthritis, controls epileptic seizures, ease the pain of multiple sclerosis, lessen side effects from treating hepatitis C, and increase treatment effectiveness, and decrease anxiety. So, wow, those are just some of the medical benefits of marijuana. And trust me, by far, it's looking pretty good. Looking rather good. So I'm going to speak about the components of cannabis next, and then we're moving on to how it helps with different symptoms such as pain relief, nausea and appetite, cannabis and mental disorders, all of that stuff. So now is the time if you guys want to ask any questions, go right ahead. Feel free to. And best up to everyone in the chat. Best up to my brother Hollywood Solar just jumping in, my brother. Much love.
Here we are. Here we are. Get it. This one right here is for the people.
I'm gonna put this on present so you guys can look at it while we're here just relaxing. It's a little talk break. Mouth can't go on turbo too much.
Voice. Just coming to favorite.
Hmm.
Why?
Hey, yo, D. Am I food for the starving tummies? Pay no mind to the youth. That is not like the future depends on it. You say the animals in the zoo. Or the chimpanzee, them a make big money. It's about the meal of images. On TV, the future rich. Science is a villages. And scientists that can't extend pyramids. Scientists making a living of the videos of films of the living kids. They are typing the image of the images. And this is what the image is. If I can't keep on some, all of us, you will say, I could be on a
So as you can see, the components of cannabis, you have CBL, THC, THCV, CBD, CBN, CBC, and these are just the major components that they've identified. These are in larger quantities. Overall, there are many more components present in that plant, but everything breaks down to form these major components and is basically linked to everything you see here.
Like the old folks told me, you agree with that? Discovering a world before this world, a world buried in time, uncovered with rhymes. It's no real. We gonna know it, how we gonna know it, man. We growing wiser, how we just growing calm. In the redogs, in the redogs. In the pretty the future, in the sea storms coming. The earth was flooded, you went too far, you would fall out. Now the earth is rolling, the shit let us get everybody put a spotlight. The average man can't prove up, pose up, the things that they do, this is sweet stuff.
So we're ready.
I know the
Let's go to CBL. CBL, a non psychomimetic cannabinoid found in cannabis species. Hmm. So, non psychotomimetic. Gotta look that word up. Means, oh, it doesn't have any psychoactive effects. This is basically used for CBL. It treats inflammation and pain relief. So with that, we have next to it on the right, we're going clockwise. We got THC, most abundant and widely known cannabinoid in cannabis. THC is the cannabinoid responsible for the main psychoactive effect patients are familiar with. So the THC major within the plant, most plants, and this is bred for CBD. Yeah, that's a plant. That's a component that gets you high. And to the right of it, we have THCV, found in large quantities in cannabis varieties indigenous to Central Africa, like certain phenotypes from Hawaii. It is currently being researched as a treatment for metabolic disorders, including diabetes, as well as serving as a potential suppressant. Appetite suppressant, not bad. So basically, THCV either gives you the munchies or don't gives you the munchies. So that helps with regulating, as said, metabolic disorders like diabetes, people that are anemic, all of that stuff. So next to it, we have CBD. And with respect to the medical potential of cannabis, CBD may hold the most promise for many serious conditions. CBD is a non psychoactive cannabinoid that is believed to reduce the psychoactive effects of THC. So, yes, with every yin, you must have a yang. With everything good, you must have everything bad. THC gets you high, CBD is supposed to balance out that high and also provide you with a large amount of health benefits, such as epilepsy, seizure control, Alzheimer's, glaucoma, you name it. CBD is on it. Next to CBD, we have CBN, a mildly psychoactive cannabinoid that comes about from the degradation of THC. There is usually very little CBN in a fresh plant. So basically, when CBN breaks down, it creates THC. So it has a mild psychoactive effect, gets you high, but plant is basically starting to flower. CBN is created and then it breaks down to create THC. Next to CBN, we have CBC, bears structurally similar to bears structural similarity to the other natural cannabinoids, including the tetrahydrocannabinol THC and THCV and everything else, such as cannabinoid. So basically, it's like the other properties of the cannabis plant, mildly psychoactive, but provides overall treatment for the body. So these are the major components or cannabinoids present in marijuana, cannabis, weed, or ganja. I said many other compounds break down or components break down to create these what that you see here. As you can see, CBN and THC are linked. From CBN, THC is basically created. So bless us with the knowledge and much love. We'll continue in the discussion about cannabis and your health. May I ask, is there anything you guys really want to talk about in terms of any points you want to bring out, anything you want me to draw breaks and pick up on, or anything you'd like to add? I said, this is a discussion, this is Ganja Talk, people. Okay, seem ready to hit hot fire in the place and the murder. Bless up, my brothers. Much love indeed. Don't worry, Helix's missus is stopping by, so he's going to meet her. Only women are gonna give him a shaky warrior title when the missus involved. I said this is Ganja Talk with Randy. Hope you guys are enjoying it and enjoying the information. So cannabis on the body. For me, I said, y'all know I speak about it every day because it's basically what introduced me to cannabis. Anxiety. I suffer from it. For me, my anxiety attacks will put me down. I start shaking. I have to ventilate, all of that good stuff. But not really good stuff, it's bad stuff. Good stuff is a saying that I use a lot. Oh. But yes, my anxiety attacks, they put me down. But through the use of cannabis, I'm able to not hyperventilate. My thoughts are in line, and yeah, it does help with my anxiety. Okay, the murder axe is smoking bad for your lungs. In all honesty, smoking is bad for your lungs. Smoking is indeed bad for your lungs. That's why we have vaping, we have edibles, we have the tinctures. There are many other cleaner ways to intake cannabis into the body. Smoking is one of them, but it's not the healthiest of ways because there is the possibility of tar buildup. Oil is in cannabis. We all know that. We all extract it. What happens to that oil if it's basically taken into the lungs? So there are breaks necessary, detox necessary, and from time to time, break off of the spliff, maybe hit some oil or hit some dabs, edibles, or even take a capsule. But overall, there are many ways to use this. It's overall healthy for your body. There's no one that has died from cannabis, to my knowledge. But yeah, healthier ways to intake into your body. Smoking is just one of those that is not the healthiest. Okay, yeah, mixing tobacco with weed in joints. Well, why I do it? This is our tobacco here in Jamaica. This is what we call grabba, leaf tobacco. It mellows the overall split for me. You notice I don't cough my lungs out. It's mostly because of this. I get a throat hit, but I don't start coughing a lot. Also, for me, it heavies the high for me. It makes the high a little bit. How should I put it? When I'm smoking an ital spliff, yeah, I'm high. It's there. I feel it. But when I get a grabber spliff, when I get a tobacco spliff, it's like everything gets that extra kick. It's like smoking a cigar, somewhat. Bro, this is grown. It's like smoking a mild cigar. So you can feel that harsh throat hit when you take it in, you pull it in, you can feel it hitting your lungs, hitting the back of your throat. I just like it. For me, I like feeling the smoke, the ganja enter my lungs, wake up my lungs and make my body do something. I don't know about the tobacco not having chemicals to start the coughing. As I said, This is naturally grown tobacco, naturally grown. No process has been done to this other from water, grow, pick, and dry. Really? Well, this is the best tobacco there is. My brother Lemon, any day you see me back out tobacco leaf, you're more than free to join in and see what it's all about. We got the chief in the place, we're going chief. We got Kimber Customs, we're going my brother, much love in the place. Glad to see you here. We're on Ganja Talk, we're talking about cannabis and the body. We're just talking about the cannabinoids, and they're actually talking about best ways to smoke or best ways to use. What best ways to smoke? Anyways, it's best to smoke. Oh yeah, best ways to use cannabis. Smoking is not one of the healthiest ways. That's why we have edibles, tinctures, other ways to absorb it. Because I said you're burning, you're causing combustion, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. The carbon products are being created. That's not really good for intaking in the body. Along with that, we have the possibility of tar buildup in the lungs over time. That's why we have that smoker's cough. Yeah. And I have done that myself. Dr. Wiggle used mental natural tobacco, rolled it up and have an event. Bless up, chief, bless up self indeed. So let's go back to cannabis and the body, use of pain relief. While traditional painkillers such as morphine and oxycodone can be effective, they can be associated also with high risk of addiction and dependence, just are fatal to the individual taking them. Cannabis, however, is an alternative method because cannabis components, the CBD, THC, along with many other cannabinoids, assist in preventing pain such as arthritis, back pain, chronic migraines, and nerve damage. Cannabinoids assist with their pain relieving natural characteristic to help with pain arthritis. I have joint pain through exercise, a lot of rigorous training in the past. So when it gets cold, my joints ache. As I said, with this plant right here, I'm able to feel relief. So cannabis and pain relief goes hand in hand. And next are the next medical benefit, next medicinal benefit, nausea and loss of appetite. Some patients experience chronic nausea or loss of appetite related to chemotherapy treatments, while others are impacted by conditions such as depression, HIV, AIDS, or Crohn's disease. If someone struggles with to maintain a healthy appetite due to medicine use or due to the chemotherapy, cannabis may be help uh, may be able to help you eat and get nutrition your body needs. Give me a second. You guys didn't see this? I'm going for the glasses. I've been looking at a computer screen for most of my life due to IT, so here it hits me. Ah, feel much better. Awesome. It is a common it is a common to have the munchies, or basically it's common. This is a typo. It's common to have the munchies among cannabis users. Cannabis does increase eating and weight gain in underweight individuals. Oddly, it does not appear to increase weight gain in normal or overweight users, because cannabis also, this is out, not reading again, not reading now, I should say, but yes, cannabis does activate the munchies. With that, you want to eat down everything in your fridge and your neighbor's fridge. That helps those that are extremely underweight to have an appetite to enjoy the food that they really need to have in their body. Oddly, as said, for people that are overweight or individuals that are normal weight, due to their metabolism and cannabis aiding in metabolism, they do not gain weight through the use of cannabis. So cannabis can never be linked to weight gain unless you're skinny and you need those meat on your bone. Makes me high. The next topic is cannabis and mental disorders. I'm gonna light up for the one here. I gotta check into chat before start this topic. Blue Chief, pure ganja. Suffer from different illnesses. You might not even know it's a cannabis that help regulate your body. As said, it's present in this plant, regulate you biologically down to your cell. Make your cells happy and ready to absorb everything they need to. It detoxes them as well without our knowledge. There are toxins in our body that even as a healthy vegan, you still produce them. That's the body. It's gonna produce waste because it's burning something. So with that, cannabis does act as a regulator for the body. And happy 420, everybody. It's 420 here in Jamaica. Bless up to everyone. Let me continue puff that spliff, yeah. 420 break. All right, stare at the sun. Also, I'm going to show you guys a bit of charts within the PowerPoint. I'll rewrite this. Cannabis and you. Lift up my hands and I'm just so yes. As you can see, the oils to treat epilepsy, the ganja tea. There are different ways to use cannabis, basically. Different ways instead of the traditional smoking it. You have the oils, rich in some oil, being the most popular. Ganja tea. You got a ganja spray right there. You got ointments. You got syringes with oils. You got capsules. But when I have some green stuff that is not supposed to be weed, should be keef and all that good stuff. Don't believe in ingesting raw weed into the body unless it's decarbed and activated. And bottom, if you can't see it, it helps to make your eyes healthy. Because glaucoma is like a clear film, not a clear film, like a cloudy film growing over your eyes. And with cannabis, that can be reduced. So this is medical marijuana, cannabis and you. As you can see, up here, them show where it can be used from the bark of the plant. It's supposed to be leaf, but we all know so yeah, the bud and everything regarding the bud and the seeds. So yeah, three parts of the plant itself, three main parts of the plant. We can make a lot of medicine to help the body. So bless up everyone, and we could go and run some music and relax. Hey, where me Chalice? Here's just a relax a bit before I get back into the topic. And the topic of the Ganja Talk stream is cannabis and your health, cannabis and your body. We all smoke this plant, use this plant for a set reason, relaxation, because we know we like that high feeling. Some medicinally because we experience different illness within the body. So cannabis plays a key role in our daily life in ensuring that we are at least normal, or what normal should feel like. So best of all the cannabis users, best up to those that are interested in using this plant and just getting them research together. And much love to everyone worldwide. This plant has so much potential as a way to heal the world and bring it together. So look into cannabis if you haven't, continue if you have, and further growth is the best thing in this industry, in this community. Growth for cannabis. For me, medical herb is every herb, as each plant does have its medicinal benefits. I think medicinal marijuana has been categorized because that strain is identified for treating specific illnesses. That strain is special for insomnia at indica level that is high enough to get you sleeping. Finally, get some sleep thanks to that indica. Yeah, that's medical marijuana. And maybe some good sativa for you. Pain, CBD. Medical marijuana is just categorize marijuana or categorize cannabis specific illnesses. All weed is good, down to the root, down to the bark, down to the stem. Everything about cannabis is good. Trust the right. So let us get into the topic. And we were talking about cannabis and mental disorders. Emotion just as devastating and dangerous to patients as physical pain. Conditions like PTSD and chronic insomnia can lead to poor mood, lackluster performance at work, meaning you nah do nothing proper, shakiness on the work, you drop asleep, you nah focus, none of that on the camp. Strain interpersonal relationships, meaning you just not look good, man. You salt, you need to wash off in a river water. Thoughts of self-harm or suicide. Medical marijuana offers many patients with mood disorders an effective alternative rather than traditional pharmaceutical treatments. Meaning, not like I said, for me, anxiety, weed replaces taking 5 pills a day. Okay. Certain medical marijuana strains, as we were talking about earlier, there are certain strains that they've identified that hit certain criteria for certain treatments. Pain. Certain strains are good for that. So that's the classification that medical marijuana has. As I said, certain medical marijuana strains with higher levels of CBD have proven to help treat anxiety disorders. The CBD produces therapeutic for patients and can also help patients with Crohn's disease or glaucoma. Animal studies suggest that CBD present in cannabis lessens anxiety and reduces the severity and frequency of seizures. Yeah, anxiety does have seizures. Attack is like a seizure attack. The body is not regulated properly, dopamine levels drop, or just something triggers your anxiety. That you have a seizure and CBD present within the plant can basically lessen the effects of the anxiety and reduce the amount of seizures you have. Next, we have CBD proved to offer great psychiatric potential, including use as an antidepressant like an anxiolytic anxiolytic compound, an anxiolytic compound, ANXIOLYCTC. Ah, good. Registered in the mind. During the study, animals who had been given CBD experienced lower levels of anxiety and depression in series of tests, such as swimming and puzzle maze, than animals who had not been given CBD. I don't like the animal testing, having them to go through rigorous tests, but it has been proven through clinical studies with animals that they have less of an anxiety while going through those what would be difficult, strenuous tasks. Right now, we have a diagram of CBD and the brain. So share my screen so we can see how CBD, or cannabis, I should say, affects the brain. Okay, so this is basically areas of the brain affected by cannabinoids. That yellow area is the cerebral cortex, plays a role in memory, thinking, mental awareness, and consciousness. So yeah, when we get high, at times awareness is blurred or we're too aware. So yeah, cannabis affects there. We got an orange hero called the um, mus hypothalamus. Uh, that word governs metabolic processes such as appetite. So that portion of the brain, right over here, the brain controls metabolic processes. With that, yeah, we see that cannabis ensuring that you have the munchies, open up your appetite, eat the beverage, and call it a nice day. Amygdala plays a role in emotion. So this little pink area controls your emotions. So you may be experiencing happiness, confusion. I don't know, whatever you experience while being high. This is the area touched on. Hippocampus, hippocampus is the key to memory storage and recall. So this ear right here, that gets affected. Maybe sometimes, yeah, so at times when we get high, we can hardly remember stuff. Maybe that's getting a very large dosage, so not functioning properly. Everyone's gone playing, no one's working. Basal ganglia governs motor skills and learning. Wow, right here governs motor skills and learning. For me, maybe different from some people. I can move around when being high. When you get too high, this gets too saturated, and yeah, you may be dysfunctional for a bit, bumping around and all that stuff. So learning and motor skills, that's what's affected here. For me, I don't mind smoking a spliff and reading a book. I tend to retain more when I do so. Cerebellum governs coordination and muscle control. Right up here along the brain. And said this is where cannabis will affect. And brainstem controls many basic functions, including arousing the vomiting reflex, blood pressure, and heart rate. Also plays a role in pain sensation, muscle tone, and movement. So yeah, pain sensation for those who get that numbing effect. This is where cannabis targets to provide you pain relief. So very nice, interesting diagram. Different areas along the brain and where cannabis will direct when it's attacked. Hey. So we have cannabis and PTSD. I did this section because it was Veterans Day during that time. Veterans Day during that time. I was looking into PTSD, and it says marijuana use for medical conditions is an issue of growing concern. Some veterans use medical marijuana to relieve symptoms of PTSD, and several states specifically approved the use of medical marijuana for PTSD. It is a powerful painkiller but also offers additional benefits. Unlike many conventional PTSD treatments, which include powerful sedatives, antidepressants, and anti anxiety medications, at least two different cannabis compounds have been shown to treat PTSD. So THC and CBD have been basically identified to help with the sedation, antidepressant, and anxiety effects of conventional pharmaceutical treatment. So bless up for that. Yeah, and I think that's it regarding medication. We'll be continuing cannabis and our health on different topics. We'll be bringing up more information regarding growing, regarding drying, everything regarding cannabis. As I said, Ganja Talk will be a session where it's cannabis talk. We can chill during the other sessions, but yeah, Ganja Talk after Ganja. Much love for that, and hope you guys enjoy the information. We're just coming on to share Ganja Talk, get baked, and just inform you guys a little bit about what's going on in your body when you ingest cannabis. Much love to everyone that has tuned in. Much love to everyone worldwide. Best from Jamaica, Randy Gaston out.